Hello guys, we are live this evening here in ESENtaxa. Hello everyone, my name is Andrea Papito. As always, today we are going to have a quick live and we're going to talk about the cost of opening a VAT position in Italy. So if you want to have a business running in this country, and if you want to have, if you just want to be an individual, how much cost your tax file return at the end of the year, and also if you want to have your forfait regime running or your unwanted regime running. So always I want to remember that this is ESENtaxa channel. It's a channel where we help people to relocate to Italy, in Belgium, also Portugal, Republic of San Marino and Albania, and we help you to find the best tax strategy possible when you relocate in this specific country. Actually, we also have opened the possibility to learn certain kind of things by yourself through our online video courses. You will find everything in the description below this slide and in the description below every video that we are publishing here in ESENtaxa. And now let's deep dive on this argument. So the cost of opening a VAT position. So it's a very common question that we are receiving from our client, especially when they're coming from another country with a different structure, different tax structure, different bureaucracy. So there is different work that the accountant there has to do. And in Italy, maybe it's more complex. We have more stuff to send back to the tax agency, more deadline to respect. So let's see how much does it cost. Let's start with the ordinary situation. So if I move to Italy and I'm an employee and I have only one employer, this is the first case, so there is basically nothing to do. Italy doesn't require you to send any tax file return because your employer will give you a document called CUD or CU, and basically this document, it's your tax file return. So the cost of this is zero, okay? So this is the ordinary cases. So you move to Italy, you don't ask any particular tax regime, you don't have any other type of incomes from abroad, and you don't have either any kind of income in Italy at the top of your employee salary, okay? If this is your situation, there is nothing to do. Everything is free of charge. Then there is the start to be a little bit more complex when you're an employee, when you're an individual, and you have some other incomes in parallel. Then you are obliged to send the tax file return. And here we have to combine your salary plus your extra incomes. It can be a house under rent. That's fine. With the help of accountant, we provide this accounting service. Basically, you will have all your incomes combined together and fill the tax file return once per year. And in this tax file return, if you moved from abroad, you will have also your foreign income to be at the top of your Italian income. All these combinations, all these incomes, recalculate your RPF taxation. So we need to have a little bit more complex calculation through the software from the accounting, from the Italian tax authorities. And basically, all the accountants, they have this software and they provide you the tax file return. The cost of this can span between 100 euro up to 200, 300 euro once per year. It costs us like this because it depends on the complexity. Imagine you have several investments abroad and you have to report all these investments in your Italian tax file return. All your type of incomes from abroad, the incomes from Italy, and your employee salary, and maybe also if you run a business in parallel, okay? So this is the cost. The other cost is when you're running your business, as a freelancer, businessman, or self-employed. So here you open a VAT position, an ordinary VAT position. So you will get the VAT number from the Teletax authority, the Teletax office. And this number is actually the number that allows you to be recognized in the Italian market, but also in the European market. And it's the same number that you will add at your invoices when you issue your invoices to your client. So with this position, you have to certain things to do. Your accountant has to do certain things. Has to respect certain deadlines, payment deadlines, accounting of the VAT, accounting of the real cost. So there is a certain kind of accounting bureaucracy behind it that needs to be respected. How much is the cost at the end of the year. It might span, based on your type of activity, the volume of your invoices, of course, and if you have other type of incomes in parallel. So we might estimate something between 1,700, 2,000 euro for the basic services, bare minimum services, and then we can add other elements of cost in case you have complex incomes behind it. Now, the Forfait regime has exactly this cost, because it's true that you just save a lot of taxes, but you have to register as an ordinary VAT position in Italy. So the Forfait regime works with the VAT, ordinary VAT position, and this is the cost on yearly basis. Then we have the Forfait regime. Forfait regime, you are still a freelancer or self-employed, so you have a VAT open in Italy, a businessman, so you're running a business in Italy, but below the threshold of 85,000 euro per year. So here you don't have the VAT at the top of your invoices. You are excluded to add the VAT, which is in Italy 22%, so not VAT, not accounting of VAT, not accounting of real cost, because you have the forfeit cost from the state, from the Italian state. And basically, of course, everything it's more light. Your Italian accountant has to do less stuff, and the cost of the forfeit regime is something that could span between 400 euro, 700 euro, more or less. This is the interval. And of course, depends on how many invoices you have, depends if you have other income at the top of it, etc., etc. Same discussion, same logic that we have said so far. What else? Then we have the SRL. Then the SRL is the most complex structure, because you're not anymore an individual, you are an entity. You have to run an entity with more stuff to do, the deed that has to be registered to the notary, the assembly once per year, the balance sheet, and a lot of stuff that has to be done from the accountant. And of course, running a company makes sense if you have a revenue higher than 100,000 euro. I would say even 150,000 euro in Italy. This is for Italy. Maybe for other jurisdictions, there's a different threshold. Why? Because you have this mandatory cost, accounting cost, that has to be sustained. How much it could be? It spans from 5,000 euro, 7,000 euro per year for the basic services as an ordinary SRL, okay? Even with the minimum number of invoices. This is just to give you a general idea of how much the cost of the accounting in Italy, it's in average cases, might span among regions, might span among the reputation of your accountant. And here in ESENtaxa, we provide this accountability. Of course, we add also extra services at the top of it, which is the English support, the email support, English language, if you're not familiar with Italian. And we also apply the tax strategy. A lot of the tax strategy is something that the ordinary accountant are not willing to do. So we here in ESENtaxa, we first provide your tax strategy, and afterward, we give you the accountability services. So this is the logic, because once you have the tax plan, the strategy in place, you can basically contact your accountant, and your accountant, based on your tax strategy, can start and proceed with the correct tax regime on practical level, on, let's say, on technical level. Okay, so I think I give you a general understanding of how much the cost of the accounting in Italy is in 2023. I think the accounting cost slightly rise because of the inflation. So, but it more or less remains the same. I would say a big change since the past. So if there are no questions today, I will close this live soon in a few minutes. Keep in mind that we are trying to have this live on a weekly basis. We try to always target the Wednesday. This week, unfortunately, was not possible, but more or less, you should expect to have lives Tuesday evening, Wednesday evening on weekly basis. So we have also released a new video course in the description below this video, or in our website, www.esentaxa.com. You will find an online course that basically allows you to understand how to request the Italian tax code for your foreign entity. So if you have a foreign entity, you're in Italy, or you want to invest in Italy with your foreign entity, not as an individual, you have to use your tax code. You have to ask to the Italian tax agency the tax code in a correct way. In this way, you can have this number to purchase property, to purchase a certain investment, with certain assets, and those investments are just run as not speculative investments. So this is very important to understand. If you're running your business in Italy, you have to register your foreign company in Italy as stable organization. You have to register and have a VAT number. But if you just want to invest in Italy and you just want to, for example, receive a rental income because you purchase a property with your foreign company, then you just need your tax code. And this online course, we explain exactly what is the procedure, what are the modules to fill, what are the documentation to attach, and some considerations of what to do when you receive this rental income, for example, what to do when you receive a notice from the tax agency, if something went wrong. We explain you basically everything on this specific subject, on this specific matter. I repeat, this is valid for those who are abroad, for those who are not living in Italy, they have a foreign entity and they want to invest in Italy, okay? The classical example when they want to put their Italian property under rent, like touristic rent, for example, or ordinary rent. And I think we can close the live for today. Thank you, guys, and see you to the next week. Bye-bye.